safe rooms, a place of refuge, a place of relief. For some, it's just a game mechanic, but for me, this music, the typewriter, the flickering candlelight, it takes me back to a different time. A time when I had no bills, no responsibilities, just me and a controller, trying to survive the horrors of Resident Evil. Survival horror, a genre built on fear, tension, and resource management. But for me, it's more than that. This was one of the first games ever introduced to me by the man who raised me, who introduced me to some of my first games and shaped my love for gaming. We never beat it back then. The fear, the challenge, it was too much for me as a kid, and I wasn't alone. When I asked my childhood friends about their experiences, they all said the same thing. They never finished it, most barely played, or just watched older siblings try. For a lot of us, Resident Evil wasn't just a game, it was something that we weren't ready for. So what makes Resident Evil HD Remaster the definitive survival horror experience? Why does it still stand amongst the greatest horror games of all time? Let's dive in. This isn't just a remaster, it's a remaster of a remake. The original Resident Evil in 1996 defined the survival horror genre, but in 2002, Capcom reimagined it completely. New areas, deeper mechanics, and a haunting new character, Lisa Trevor, transformed it into something even more terrifying. The 2015 HD Remaster polished it further, bringing the horror to a new generation. But to truly appreciate this version, we have to go back to what Resident Evil is at its core. A game where every bullet counts, a game where the mansion itself feels alive, a game that, even now, over 20 years later, still knows how to get under your skin. Playing this as a kid, I didn't understand game mechanics the way I do now. All I knew was that I was terrified. The tank controls made every movement feel deliberate, every corner felt like a risk, and then, the first zombie. I'll never forget this moment. It wasn't just a jump scare, it was a warning. This game wasn't going to hold my hand, it was going to make me fight for survival. Unlike modern horror games that drown you in weapons and ammo, Resident Evil forces you to think. Every bullet, every herb, every save matters. Run out of supplies, you're on your own. But even if you had enough ammo, that didn't mean you were safe, because it wasn't just about fighting, it was about figuring things out. The mansion itself was a puzzle. Locked doors, missing keys, cryptic notes left behind. And if you got stuck, you were truly on your own.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's not an option. Right? Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like, there's no door or something I can unlock real quick? Yeah, we're just gonna die, aren't we?
You guys can see it. Am I ready? Ah! Ah! Jill! Jill! Jill!
Today, you can Google the solution, but back then, If you didn't have a strategy guide or an older sibling who had already beaten the game, you wandered aimlessly hoping for a breakthrough. These weren't just simple find the key, open the door puzzles. The game forced you to think, push statues into place, find hidden messages in files, use crests in the right order. The Spencer Mansion wasn't just a setting, it was a labyrinth designed to make you feel trapped. If you were lucky, you had a friend who knew the solution, but for most of us, that meant hours of trial and error, or just putting the game down in frustration and coming back days later. And when you finally figured it out, the relief was just as strong as the horror. But Capcom wasn't done making you suffer. In the original game, once a zombie was dead, it was gone. But in the remake, if you left a body lying around too long, it came back as something worse. The Crimson Heads changed everything. They were faster, stronger, and way more aggressive. And suddenly, killing a zombie wasn't always the best option anymore. This wasn't just about horror, it was a strategy. And that's what makes Resident Evil special. It's not just about fear, it's about how you react to it. Beating this game now, as an adult, felt different. It wasn't just about finishing a classic, it was about reclaiming a piece of my past. The fear I felt as a kid, the memories of playing with the man who raised me, the safe rooms that gave me relief, it all came back. And that's the thing about Resident Evil. It's not just about horror, it's about survival. Not just in-game, but in life. It's proof that true horror is timeless. And sometimes, the scariest thing isn't the monsters, it's the memories. So now I want to hear from you. What games give you that feeling? The one that takes you back? The one that reminds you of someone or of a time long ago? Let me know in the comments, and if you're new here, subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's greatest experiences. Thank you for watching.